I need to get some castings starting to mature because we've got all of our aged castings out in the garden, and I've got a couple of bins here that are close, but you can see there are still worms in here. Oh my gosh, there's so many worms in here. But you know, I have to get the worm or the castings, the vermicompost out of here. I need to get it into a bucket and start maturing it. I don't mind that there are worms in it. I can toss the worms into the, as I go through here, any ones that I can see, I can just toss over here into the side that I've been gently migrating these worms, because I want to get these castings in good shape for me to be able to use them in my seed starting in the spring. So to do that, I have to get them out of here. Well, it's vermicompost. Look at all the still shredded paper and everything. I have to get it out of here and into a bucket. Then it can start aging, and the worms that come along for the ride, well, hey, they're just going to help chew up these last few bits. And then I will be able to restock this bin and get the rest of these worms working. So here is the bucket of vermicompost that I harvested 19 days ago. You see, I've just put loose bubble wrap on top with a little piece of newspaper, again, loosely on top. You can see, I think, the glistening of the newspaper. It's quite moist, which is good. I baited and pulled worms out of here and returned them to eat my shorts shortly after I harvested this. But you'll see I've left the pill bugs in here, which are the little pill bug army. So you can see how the level has dropped in just 19 days. When I harvested it, it was about 2 inches higher. I said in my previous video, it was about 3/4 full. So the longer you wait, the more compressed the castings are going to get as the microbes, the pill bugs, and any remaining worms chew their way through the remaining material. Now, here's a piece of avocado shell that's still hanging around, but this is the vermicompost 19 days after I harvested it. And you'll see that another little pill bug. You'll see fragments of some pine needles. This looks like a fragment of a leaf stem. There's a fragment of like a cucumber or a melon seed. This is unsifted. I harvested it straight from the bin. There's another bit of avocado shell in my fingers there, with castings accumulating against it. That is a leaf. Look at that. There's a bit of leaf. When a leaf hangs around this long, I have to think that it just didn't get sufficiently moist. As soon as it gets buried and gets moist, it'll be gone. Oh, did I see a worm? No, I thought I did a pretty good job of baiting and pulling the worms out of here. But with only 19 days, obviously cocoons that are in here will still be maturing and hatching. And so if I went through here with, a good eye, I could probably find some wisps. Now, I'll tell you right now, one of the reasons bucket systems are great is they hold on to the moisture really well. But that also makes it very difficult to pull worms and cocoons, because I'll tell you where the worms are, if there are still worms in here. They are down the bottom of this bucket where the moisture is. I'll try to go a bit deeper. Anyway, as you get deeper in the bucket, there's another handful. See, look at how muddier it is. There, I can still see a cocoon there. I didn't show it to you on the camera, but there was still a cocoon. So that means these castings, if I want to get every single worm out, they have to sit a while longer, and I will have to bait or pull the worms out one more time. But this is what it looks like, and they are moist. Oh, there's a little wisp there. See him there? There's a little wisp. So the cocoons are starting to hatch. The wisps are starting to appear. I've gone through and I pulled out all the adults and juveniles that I could see and baited them out. So what's happening now is just the vermicompost maturing and transitioning from all that shredded cardboard that you saw in the material that I pulled out. And now there's scant evidence. We found that one leaf, but scant evidence of any large pieces of unfinished produce. There's another wisp sitting right there. Of unfinished carbon mostly. There will be no food scraps visible in here anymore. Just the little avocado peels, which, you know, if they end up in my garden, I'm okay with that. And even these number of worms, there's a bigger worm right there. Even these number of worms that might end up in my garden, I'm okay with that too. They're not going to start breeding. They're still way too young to start breeding, which means they'll just continue to grow a little bit in here. I'll probably bait this out once or twice more, just with a little mini bait cup, and that will catch the rest of these worms. And in the meantime, they'll just keep eating up the rest of the carbon bits in here. And it's really just a matter of, do I want to get all those worms out? And if I'm going to use this for seed starting, it's really easy to pick out, you know, these bigger bits of carbon so that, you know, they don't get in the way of smaller seeds in a seed starting mix. So I don't have to sift it all. I can just put this directly to work. And as long as you can sit it aside, if you've got time on your side, you get a beautiful product at the end of it. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.